Today, we will talk about the most mysterious metro tunnel in New York from the mid-19th century. Inventor Alfred Beach founded a company called Pneumatic Transit to build a network of underground tunnels for pneumatic trains. Alfred Beach asked the city administration for permission to build the tunnels, but he didn't get official approval. This could have been due to opposition from railway magnates or city authorities fearing the collapse of buildings due to tunnel construction. Since he didn't get official permission, Beach was allowed to build small-diameter tunnels for pneumatic mail. Beach decided to secretly build a small tunnel and launch a pneumatic train. Once people saw the effectiveness of the pneumatic trains, he hoped to get permission to expand the tunnel network throughout the city. In 1868, his company rented the basement of Devlin's clothing store on Broadway for 5 years and began work on the tunnel. Despite small discrepancies in the story, we know Beach decided to build the first tunnel secretly at night in the center of New York. Officially, a small tunnel for pneumatic mail was being constructed. Every night, a series of wagons transported piles of soil from the tunnel construction site. Beach used his own tunneling shield for the excavation. On February 26, 1870, the tunnel was opened to the public. A journalist described the event. Visitors entered the basement of Devlin's clothing store through a special vestibule with airlock doors. They then saw the underground station decorated with high society items, including wooden paneling, chandeliers, a fountain with goldfish, and a piano. The station was lit by oxygen-hydrogen gas lamps. At the far end, there was a portal to the first American metro tunnel, framed with beautiful brickwork and 2 bronze statues of Mercury. Behind the station wall was a 50-ton air compressor with 100 horsepower. Beach spent $350,000 of his own money to build the 95-meter-long, 2.5-meter-wide tunnel. It transported 400,000 passengers in a year. In 1873, Beach finally got permission to build tunnels throughout the city. However, the stock market crash led investors to abandon the project, and the tunnel was closed. In 1898, the building housing the tunnel burned down, and the pneumatic metro was forgotten. In 1912, workers expanding the Broadway subway accidentally discovered the abandoned tunnel, finding Beach's tunneling shield, rusty rails, and a pneumatic metro car inside. This is the official story, but there are inconsistencies. For instance, it seems unrealistic that they built the tunnel, lined it with bricks, built the underground station, and installed a 50-ton compressor in just 2 months, mostly working at night. In 1912, they found a unique structure from the past, but instead of preserving it, the tunneling shield disappeared and the cars were likely scrapped. In 1932, the New York Historical Society ordered a memorial plaque in honor of Alfred Beach, intended to be installed on the City Hall building. But to this day, the plaque has not been installed. Authorities seem reluctant to remember the builder of the first metro. In England, Mark Brunell, the builder of the first underground tunnel under the Thames, is considered a national hero. Let's look at this photo. A round tunnel with a rectangular recess at the bottom. Compare this to the early sketches by English engineer Mark Brunell. They look very similar to the American tunnel. However, Brunell made his sketches in the early 19th century and couldn't have seen the American tunnel. Perhaps the American engineer saw Brunell's drawings and made the tunnel based on them. But these early sketches of Brunell were never published, so the American couldn't have seen them. I believe Brunell made his sketches based on real existing tunnels he saw with his own eyes. In America, they accidentally found a functioning tunnel with all the equipment, compressors, and cars. They just cleared the tunnels, made some repairs, and started using them within 2 months. They wanted to excavate other tunnels, but for some reason, they were not allowed. Maybe these sketches were made in St. Petersburg in 1814. Brunell was invited to St. Petersburg, where Alexander the First wanted him to build a tunnel under the Neva River. But for some reason, the project was abandoned. There is information that an underground passage goes from Kronstadt under the Gulf of Finland to St. Petersburg, now used by the military. I wouldn't be surprised if it has the same shape as the first American metro. This is the oldest Canadian tunnel now used as a sewer. Look at how London's 19th century sewers look. Now, look at the 1904 photo of the New York subway opening. See this shabby handcar in a huge tunnel? It doesn't match. 50 years earlier, Alfred Beach used almost modern-style cars, but in 1904, they built these shabby handcars. Now, let's move to Paris. See the damaged tunnel with a double tunnel filled with debris? The left side is excavated, but the right side isn't. The shape of the small tunnel is the same as in New York. Here, they just excavated an ancient tunnel. Workers are dismantling a third tunnel wall in this photo, forming an ancient wall. In this photo, they first poured the arch, then started digging. It's clear the tunnel was excavated. You can see 4 tunnels from an ancient civilization. If you look at photos of Paris, you can see how they rebuilt ancient tunnels to adapt them for the modern metro. You can see Paris metro photos via the link in the description. The most interesting is New York's pneumatic metro, where ancient civilization equipment, compressors and cars were preserved. Now look at this metro plan. It's an extremely complex modern project. Now compare it to this photo of the Paris metro. You can see how this project was implemented. Look at these walls made of ancient stone. It's a technological gap. The modern plan and ancient Roman masonry suggest that old tunnels were excavated and adapted for metro use in cities like New York and London. Other countries didn't have much left. Only buried tunnels remained. That's all for now. Watch my channel for more.